May 23rd, 2023 meeting for the Mason City Schools Board of Education. The board has been in a work session and executive session, but has convened now to our regular session. And so the next item on our agenda, on your agenda as well, is item number 4, the opening of our regular session. So if you'd please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next item on our agenda is our superintendent's presentations.
All right, tonight is an exciting evening. This is our last regular session meeting while school is still in session. So this is exciting. So we have some guests, as you can see, that we'll get to. But one thing that we try to do each and every month this year was to have a wayfinding video. Wayfinding is a way for us to tell just a snapshot of the story that happens here at Mason, to highlight and spotlight something that's great that's happening throughout the district, and to share that with others through our community and beyond. So I'll turn it over to Tracy for our wayfinding video this month.
Well, this month's wayfinding moment, our wayfinders are actually some amazing athletes who participated in Pig Abilities at the high school. Pig Abilities is a movement for inclusion that supports our families and friends who live with disabilities, and these students trained from January until the Pig, and these athletes just worked so hard with Coach Horning, and I'd love for you to take a look and see how this really is a wayfinding moment.
There you go.
Buckle up.
Thank you. Thank you, teammate.
The athletes all started training in February to prepare them to do this 1 mile race down in town. It's just been an incredible opportunity. They have really embraced it.
It's just been a lot of fun, and it's been hard work, but that's kind of the point. And at first, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do a full mile, but we did a quarter mile today, and now it doesn't seem so hard to do that just 4 times.
Stretch it out.
Everyone is always like helping each other along, but like especially the coaches. We've been kind of being together a lot, and I've even been called by some of the coaches a leader.
You do have just the inclusion aspect of this group is really open to a huge variety of students across the board, and we really try and reach all of those students, and the personalization hops in there too, just because we were talking about really all of these athletes have different skill sets that they're bringing. All these athletes have different ways that they're going to tackle that challenge on Saturday for us. And then, of course, culture-wise, we are trying to own this moment. We're trying to do the best we can to really do our best there and achieve our goals.
3, 2, 1.
Congratulations to all the students that participated in the Pig Abilities event and also the families and especially our staff for taking initiative to make that a possibility for our kids this year. We love that. Remember, wayfinding videos are a way for us to share our comic culture in action and share some of that. Our next, and you can see some other wayfinders here that are up on the screen. You might see some people that you know and love and care for here on the screen. We are excited for this next presentation. Each year, we look for opportunities to celebrate our staff. And I'm going to transition over to the podium for this next part, and then I'll share a little bit more about our Big Rock Awards. Give me 1 second.
In this building, this humongous building, found this feature to be the best feature on earth that we're going to be recognizing today and celebrating. So can you give her a big hand for celebrating? And this guy is the one that we came to celebrate because she lives out on culture. And so let's give her a huge Your teacher was elected this year. Can we give her a hand? We're here to celebrate you because you have been selected as a Big Rock recipient for Central Office. And that came from out of people in other buildings gave us your name and said you're the person. And sir, you are our recognition. So I want to thank you. I don't feel like I'm worthy. You have amazing people. You are amazing. More than yes, absolutely. So many people are amazing with president. Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
That could be one of my new favorite videos right there. That is just so fun. Capture the personalities and the real-time reaction. I love that. Well, you can see these are people that we love, we care for, and they are doing such a great job leading. Just a really quick reminder of what this award means to us. So the Big Rock Award is something that we reserve to celebrate staff members that are living out comic culture, and they're recognized by their peers for doing just that. And so today, it's such a privilege to recognize the folks that we have here. So I want to call their names, and as I call your name, if you would make your way down to the front where our board is, they'll shake your hand, and they also have an actual Big Rock for you. We are going to ask you to come back right here if you would join me here, and then we'll do a picture together. Does that sound okay once we get everybody down here? So our first one with Mason Early Childhood is Emily Jansen. So Emily Jansen, if you would please come down. I think we caught Emily right after field day. She was coming back into her room and shocked her just a little bit, but she handled it very well. Congratulations, Emily. If you want to hang right here, and then we'll get everybody up together. And our Mason Elementary Big Rock Award recipient is Missy Meekum. Missy Meekum, please come down. Missy, we surprised in the hallway and shocked her in her classroom, but Mr. Powell helped us do that, which is great. Our next recipient that I'm thrilled to present tonight is from Mason Intermediate, Amy Perry. Come on down. Congratulations, Amy. Amy thought we were doing a walkthrough, and we just turned our walkthrough right into a celebration. Congratulations, Amy. Our next Big Rock recipient is Jill Arminio from the middle school. Jill, please come down. Jill made us all cry in the moment, which was great. This was great. All right, our next Big Rock recipient comes from Mason High School, Dan Broderick. Please come down, Dan. We timed it up, so we thought there'd be students in Dan's room. Since there wasn't, I just grabbed Dan and invited him into the room next door. And we just, he had Vance and everybody else's excitement right there, so it was great. All right, our next recipient at Central Office, and it was great because Central Office recognized, but also people from other buildings selected Sarah Jo Tewksbury. Sarah Jo, please come on down. Oh, Sarah Jo's not here, but we'll give her a hand. Sarah's out watching. Congratulations, Sarah. Sarah is a ray of sunshine and just really builds those meaningful relationships. So at this time, I think I'm going to...
Want to have one picture with them?
And then we'll add our... Yep, that'd be great. So if you all would join the board for a picture, and then we'll go further with our awards. Yep. And if anybody else wants pictures, we'll have them hold still for just a second. All right, let's give them a hand again. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations again. Thank you. Oh, I love this picture. I have not seen this before, but I just... This is a delight. You know, there's things in life that are a delight. This is a delight to look up and see Drew welcoming us. So, once again, we want to thank all the teachers and their families and staff members that were a part of our Big Rock recipient. Just so grateful for all of you and your service. As we transition just so subtly to the screen today, I would like to introduce Drew Boyd. Drew Boyd, I'm just going to, really quick, I'm going to say a couple words, and then I'm going to have some other friends come and join me for this. But Drew has been, each year we look for a community member or a partner that can help us to continue to move Mason momentum forward. Drew, year after year, I got a call randomly from, and I get a lot of calls from a lot of people in the community, and I never know what they're reaching out for, if they're selling me something or if they're telling me how great of a job we're doing or how the traffic is in the morning. But this call was different. It was Drew. He calls and says, hey, Jonathan, I live in the area. I'd love to share some of our ideas about creativity. I'd love to work with your staff. I thought, well, this sounds interesting. I brought him in, introduced him to our team. We did some exercise together. I thought, well, this is fascinating. And then we brought him and shared some of his expertise with the rest of our leadership team, and it was fascinating again. And then he said, I want to do some more with the school and with the kids and work with them. And so he has worked with some of our students. So I'd like to invite some of our students or teachers maybe possibly that might want to come over. Yep, I'm going to turn it over to them just to share a little bit of what Drew's doing. And then we'll have Drew up for a second just to celebrate you as well. So we'll embarrass you a little bit longer, Drew. Come on down right over here. If you just talk at the microphone, it will pick your voices up. So if you want to say anything, go ahead and do that, and I'll sit down right over. You want to say anything? Anybody? Free? Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Shri, and because of Mr. Boyd, I will now think creatively every single day.
Hi, I'm Masa, and I never thought I would get taught by an internet famous person, but now I got taught by a person that got the Spirit of the Comet Award.
Oh, man, that's great. That's great.
Hi, my name is Vikram, and I can't believe that I got taught by a college professor who taught the first kids to learn an amazing creativity tool, the SIT method.
Kate Mullen, and I think Mr. Boyd has taught us a lot about creativity, and I think he is an awesome person.
Hi, my name is Easton, and I am so happy that Mr. Boyd taught us the SIT method and the 4 tools that he gave us. Hi, my name is Dominic, and I'm super thankful that Mr. Boyd has taught me the SIP method, and now I'm going to live my life in a whole different way.
Well, I just want to say thank you from all of our 3rd graders who are not here because you spent 6 full days of your time teaching every single one of our students. And just your time alone is like a gift that we appreciate so much. So thank you for all of your time and effort with all of our students.
Jessica and I'm Jill Hartsock, and this is Jessica Mullen. We teach 3rd grade gifted, and we just cannot thank Drew enough for what you've done to our own mindset with what comes first? Solution. The solution comes first. So you've changed our minds, and we were lucky enough to be able to have you on our podcast, Adventures in Being Gifted, and he is in season 3 in October, something like that. And it has just been a pleasure. So we just thank you. You have changed these kids' lives, not only just us adults, but them as well. So we appreciate it, and we are so excited to be here. So thank you all for honoring him.
Drew, I'm going to invite you over just to say hi and just introduce yourself, maybe a little bit, a brief of where'd this come from, this SIT, and
Sure.
and how this came about, and then the board might just have a word, and then we'll get you.
Okay. So internet famous, that's going on my resume.
Goes on the resume.
This is referring to a method of creativity. The interesting story is that for thousands of years, everyday innovators and inventors have used patterns in their inventions, many times without realizing it. It forms the basis of a method that I've taught to people all over the world in big corporations and organizations, governments, and things like that. And picked up the phone one day, and I called, and he took my call, and Jonathan and I and his staff, his very talented staff, this leadership team here is just incredible, embraced me. And I was so lucky. You say I gave you the gift. You guys are the gift to me. You really are, each and every one of you. I do have to share one quick story. As I started my very first lecture, very first moment with them, my heart's pounding. You know, I've been teaching for 20 years, but now it's 25 years, and here it is, 3rd graders, and my heart's pounding. And I open my mouth, and one of them in the front row, I won't say who it was, looks at me and says, "How old are you?" And I stuttered, and I looked at Jill and Jess, and they were, and I said, "Well, I'm 68." And she says, "Oh, my grandmother's 68." That's how we started, and it's been a great ride. I hope the relationship will continue, because this is such a gift to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this.
Problem is you ran into teachers, timeless in their age, they still look 22 to
Make sure he gets his rock too,
This
John.
is him, right?
The rocks.
He gets the certificate too. Yes, Charles.
We're going to do a selfie.
We're gonna put you in the middle of a rock.
Finish it off. All right, everybody there.
And then we'll get everybody to wrap around you. Got a big rock. That's
Stay
right.
close.
There you go.
Here.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, that looks so good. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have.
Perfect.
Here we go. 3. And
Oh.
can you serve you guys a tree?
There you go.
I did want to pose a question before we move on to our
yeah.
next presentation.
Sure,
of that.
yeah.
And it could be for Drew, or if there's a talented deputy of his in the crowd that could give us like a 2-minute elevator pitch of what the sit method is.
Oh, yeah.
Come on down. We'll do that, and then I know we gotta get Mr. We gotta get Dr. Boyd on the road for he's going to do some consulting in another state tonight. So we gotta get him on the road. Give your 2 minutes, and we'll. You want to step right up?
There we go.
I think like the sit method means where your creativity like comes out, and like you can like there's the inventor's glue or the slicer, and it's where like for inventor's glue, it's where you take two things, you make a huge list, and you close your eyes, pick two numbers, take those two numbers, and you smush them together and see what you get, and you come up with a name. And that's like one of the things that Mr. Boyd taught us.
What I like about the sit method is that it has 4 parts to it, and most of those parts are like it's like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and unifying. Like addition, subtraction, multiplication. I just love math, so I feel like it's the perfect method for me.
My name is Drew. I like the sit method because like you can like use it around for like different things. There are like different steps to like the sit method. One of them is called the inventor's glue. The second one is called the imaginary slicer, and the third one is called the disappearing wand. It you like take stuff and like take stuff away from it or like put it together, and it's like an idea that you have, and you can see like how it can like help the world if it were real.
That was awesome. Thank you again, Mr. Boyd. I think we got like just the perfect amount of teaser, and now we are all compelled to like sign up for a course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd.
All right, and for our, I believe it's our final presentation for awards given tonight. This is a special one that we reserve for the end. We have so many great things happening through our district, and one of the things that we look for are people that just live comet culture every day, but they've also been just a part of who we are as Comets throughout time. And so they've been here investing their talent, their time, their energy, and they've poured into lots of kids and staff members, our own leadership, and they've influenced things in such a way that when you think about Mason, you think about their legacy and the legacy that they will leave behind because of their work. And tonight, it is such a great, just huge privilege to recognize Cindy Donnelly, or as the students know her as, the Don. And she is a gift to Comet Country. She is a person that started our Comet Savings and Loans, and it just celebrated its 20th year. It's a real bank within our school district, and sometimes we just take it for granted, but when we have people from all around the country walking through our buildings or from the state level, they are just enamored by the fact that we have a bank right inside our school. And the kids do such a great job, and I sit on their board, and it's so professional in their presentation each and every year. So, Cindy, please come down. We're so excited to celebrate. Cindy, we can put the spirit of the comet right there in the bank, maybe. That'll be something that we'll look forward to. It's heavy, yes. Cindy has invested in so many of our kids, and if you ever check her out, she's at all the basketball games, sitting right there behind the basket and celebrating our kids in and out of the classroom. So thank you, Cindy, for all you invested. Let's give Cindy a hand. All right. Well, we do have one more session of celebration, and I believe I'm turning it over to one of our teachers. Yes, please, come on down. We have a couple teachers to tell us about some more famous, I don't know if they're internet famous, but famous artists that have gained all kinds of recognitions around the state and the country, so I'll turn it over.
Hi, I'm Hannah Zimmerman. I teach art at the high school, and I am so excited to honor a couple of our art students. We have had some really talented kids obviously come through the program at all levels, but a few of our students got some really top recognitions this year. Kate Lawrence, the first one there. Everyone wants to applaud for Kate. Kate, I have had with many classes. This year I had her in AP Studio Art, and this piece that she has on the screen called Medication was in the governor's competition, which is a statewide competition for high school students. And she was one of 48 pieces selected for a particular show that they had called the Cameo exhibition. And so we're just very excited for her. Soumya Manglor, who is not here tonight, she was also a finalist for Governors. She had 3 pieces that were included in a couple different exhibitions. 2 of her pieces were in the top 253. They were juried into that. And then another one was in the Cameo exhibition as well that Kate's work was in too. So, and then Callum Reddig, he had multiple pieces, 2 pieces that were selected for the top 253, and 1 piece that received the highest award possible for Governors, which is the top 25 pieces in the entire state. So just to give you an idea of context, at the regional level, our region that we're in, the competition received over 1,000 submissions, and they only juried in 164, and that was at the regional. So this is at the state level, so pretty impressive for all of these students. Alicia also was a Governor's finalist. She had a piece in the top 253, and all of these students were in AP Studio Art this year, so really exciting to see them excel both in and out of the classroom with this. And then we have Michelle Chen, who's here with us tonight. Michelle, I had the honor to work with in AP Studio Art last year, and she built an amazing portfolio. I'll give her another little shout out. She got a perfect score on her AP Studio Art portfolio from the College Board last year. Michelle has just done some really amazing work, deeply personal and very just relevant to many different people, but specifically students, I think, her age and thinking about identity and heritage and that kind of thing. So for Michelle, she was the Overtures winner. Overtures is a competition in Cincinnati. It is the largest solo competition for students in the arts. And she was the top finalist for visual arts, which is just so amazing, and we're so excited for her. And then Mingxia Zhang, unfortunately I haven't had a chance to work with her in classes, but I believe you were working with an independent tutor outside of school, and she was a national finalist for Scholastics. So we are very excited for her achievement as well. I think that should be the last one for my,
Karen with Walsh, and I teach ceramics at the high school. And my two students aren't here, unfortunately, tonight. Right? They didn't show up. Okay. Camden Hardy had a piece that was accepted into. This is the first time I've ever had a piece accepted into the National K-12 Ceramics Foundation. They do a national exhibit every year, and it's in conjunction with the National Council on the Education for Ceramic Arts, so it's a huge thing. And Camden got his Ceramics 1 shoe in, and not only was he in, but he received a monetary award from Bailey Pottery Company, so he got an award. And I had one more student that also made it in the show, Ivy Roper. She did a beautiful set. She was from Ceramics 2. She did this beautiful little pitcher and cup set. And she also got a monetary award from Bailey Pottery. So it was really cool. The first time we had any in this national show, and they both got awards in the show.
Well
so,
done.
Yes. I have bags for them, yes. So students, if you are here, we would like to invite you down to meet the board, to shake hands, and then I have a bag for you, and then we'll get a picture with all of you together. So if you would come on down, that'd be great. Thank you.
Well done again.
I got your card. Oh, I'm so glad. I just love your work. It's powerful. So thank you for sharing it.
Middle here, we'll take a picture of you with the
Maybe board members, you should come out just a little bit. There we go, and let switch the two. There we go. That looks good.
thank you to our teachers.
We want to thank our teachers. Thank you, teachers.
Teachers, thank you again for being here this evening. Thank you, principals. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you, and this is a time that we do break for a second to give everybody a chance to get out to their events. Thank you.
Teachers need no invitation.
That's right. By now, at the end of the year, everybody is well coached and schooled on how our meetings proceed. So appreciate everybody knowing when the cues are before we even need to give them. All right.
Jonathan, I think you could have, as far as the savings and loan going, highlighted that it's the strongest bank in the country. Right? This year particularly, it's not in the news at all. So
Not. No one's trying to save it. They're doing a great job.
Well, we appreciate all of those awards, achievements, and acknowledgments, and the teachers that help bring that out in the students and open up some opportunities and pathways for them that they might not otherwise know about. I know I didn't know about the National Council on Pottery or Ceramics Education, so I'm excited to hear more about that. And that was a pretty impressive array of artwork that we got to see there. So very, very cool. And I think at least in my time on the board, the first 2 years in a row having a student come back for
Yes.
artwork achievement. You know, sometimes we get the rare athlete or other, student who's a state champion in multiple years. But I know Michelle Chen was here last year, and remember, some of her portfolio being shared with us. So very impressive to see her back, and as well as all of the other students. So congratulations again.
And it's great seeing that right on the tail end of the art show that our teachers, do a nice job selecting and bringing all that art together to our community. It is quite impressive.
Yeah.
Our kids are talented.
All right, the next item on our agenda is our hearing of the public. Tracy, do we have any tonight?
Nothing tonight.
All right, well, next item then is item number 7, superintendent's recommendations, personnel items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
You know, I'm going to just walk through a few items here just so to orient people. I won't read every piece of this. It is May, so this personnel section is very comprehensive, and it's great. It's exciting because it shows a lot of activity and healthy employment throughout our district. You'll notice at the front end, it's administrators that are continuing on in their positions into the next year, which we're excited about. Our different administrators are up for review at different times, and so you can see the ones that are moving forward in their contracts. We are also fortunate on here. You'll see lots of new appointments coming in. So in section H, lots of new people coming on board. We've been going through interview processes that are comprehensive processes where candidates go through several rounds. They meet several of our staff members, students at times, community members, and we do our very best to select the very best that are out there, and you'll see that long list. And then others that are getting their, they're still in their second year here, so they're getting another 1-year contract, and then 2 years as they go into their third year. And then several of them then start to go into their continuing contract after that. So you'll see a long list of folks over the last, and it just reminds you of how many new people are coming on board here and how important it is, the work that we are able to do to recruit new people here. Because you hear of a shortage across the country, and we're just very fortunate to have people coming to Mason at this time to work here. If you continue to go down the list, you'll see there is also a lot of summer work that's happening here. So you'll see in section I, there is additional duties. You'll see that we have some of our folks that are being, they're stepping up to leadership positions, whether it's our Big Rock leaders or others that are stepping up into extended school year work with helping some of our students that get extended school year throughout the summer, different therapies and support services there. We then scroll down further, and you'll see more work that's happening throughout the district. We have curriculum work. We have really tried our best not to pull teachers out of the classroom. I mean, it does happen from time to time. It's not a perfect model, so we try to, during the year, we have things that are time sensitive. We need to pull people out of the classroom, but we also do lots of work during the summer. So there is sometimes an understanding that teachers are finished in May, but the reality is they're not. There's actually lots of work that happens during the summer, and we pay them to come in and do additional work on learning essential units of study and other design pieces for our learning experience in our classrooms. And a lot of that's, or all of that is vetted through a process that our learning success team oversees with Amy Brennan, Dr. Brennan, and Chrissy Huffnagel, Shauna Buemiller, and the team oversee the proposals that are coming in for summer work, and then we approve those and we put them on our agenda here in the May, so you can see all of the work that's happening. We also want to thank all of our teachers that are willing to step up and do this work, because it's a lot of work. So as you scroll through there, you'll see all of that coming all the way through to section J. In section J, you'll see some ELL screeners, English language learners screeners. We are allowed to do some of the screening during the summer, so we do take advantage of that opportunity. You'll see that show up on here so that we're not pulling students during the school year. We try to get a head start on some of that. You'll see some third grade guarantee support. So we do provide supports for students that might be needing to continue on that journey to pass a test that the state provides for us. So you'll see some of that work in section J, I believe it is, going down in this, JB. And then at the end here, you'll see lots of further work that's happening throughout the district, whether it's specialized with our nurses and the work that they do, or other aides that are working with students that have maybe some medical needs that are also on this agenda for us to see. All right, I think that's it. You'll see other pieces throughout the agenda, but I just wanted to make sure that at least oriented you to some of the things that are happening here. You'll also see retirements on here. We always want to wish our retirees the very best in their journey, so as you see that come up on here, you also want to recognize those folks. Any questions at this time?
No, Thank you for walking us through that, Jonathan, and thank you to the staff for stepping up into these roles. It's greatly appreciated, and as you recognize, not everywhere has the luxury of enjoying the kind of workforce support that we do here in Mason. So we are happy to have everybody pitching in and stepping up.
And I think it's a testament because there are some names on there that I think left and have come back. So,
Yes.
we had that kind of conversation about grass and greenery, and so I think folks, we always want the best for our staff, and they go out in the world and see maybe Mason's home. So glad that welcomed them back.
We do welcome them back. So you will see names that are familiar, and we're so happy to welcome people back to Comet Country. And I did in section L, I skipped past it, but the retirees, we do have different retirees and resignations from time to time, but Joe Hammond, who has been teaching in the district for, I can't remember I won't say the years, but for a minute, and so we want to congratulate him on his retirement, wish him the very best. And then also Vance Reed, who you heard his voice of enthusiasm in the earlier video in his classroom. He actually, I think, may come back as a different position to help with some of our students at a elementary level. So we're grateful for that as well.
Awesome. All right, any other discussion? Sean, please call roll.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Apache?
Yes.
Mrs. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
5-0.
Next item, number 8, first reading, new instructional resources recommendations. Jonathan, do you want to walk us through this one?
Yeah, so you'll see 3 items on here. You'll see 5, 6 social studies, middle school social studies, and high school social studies. We have a rhythm of a renewal that we are constantly looking at different curriculums, and when those come through that cycle for renewal, we go through that process. Social studies obviously is the one that our folks have been working diligently on. One of the things I'll give Dr. Brennan and her team just a great credit. They have developed tools that allow our teacher leaders to come in and view the resources through a lens that's aligned with our big rocks. It's a compass of sorts, and if you want to learn more about it and you're just tuning in, I encourage you to reach out. It's a very thoughtful and well-designed tool to make sure that the materials that we're bringing in are vetted and thoughtful and aligned with who we are and the culture that we have here. So that's not easy in this day and age because there's just so many things coming at us and so many things that change in curriculum. So I appreciate the hard work that they're doing there. This is a first reading, so it's not something we're voting on this evening. So I also use this as an invitation to anyone that would be in the public that would like to view these different items that are on our list tonight for the instructional resource recommendations. Please come to us. You can reach out to Dr. Brennan, reach out to myself, and I'll get you in contact. My email is cooper@masonohioschools.com, and we'll allow you we're happy to meet with you or give you the material so you can review those. Our second reading will be at the end of June, right? Is that the next month? Yes, we're in May, so you can tell. So the end of June, we'll have a second at the regular meeting, a second reading. At that time, we will vote to approve those. These are, again, just a reminder, have gone through lots of work. Has also gone through the superintendent committee student achievement and been reviewed there as well before it comes for recommendation before the board.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. Item number 9, superintendent's recommendations, action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm going to turn the first one over to Sean to talk about it, and then I'll jump into the rest.
Sure. The first one, the gap conversion and CAFR services. This is a contract that we're approving with the local government service division of the Auditor State's Office. That group has performed and prepared our financial statements each year for the last couple of years, and this will contract with them to do that again for the next couple of years.
Item B and C are job descriptions. We, with Nicole Fearman as our prevention and wellness supervisor, has done just fabulous work throughout the district in setting us up for success and building that team over the last 5 years. We now have, each time we have someone move out of a position, we relook at that position and say, are there new iterations of that? And we get the feedback from the person leaving the role and also the team. And so that has developed into the next iteration of we're calling the learner well-being and support supervisor, which will do a lot of the work that has been done before in that position, but also some additional alignment with some of the work that we have on our OKRs this year to move forward in. The next job description is a learner family engagement administrator. One thing we have noticed in our district that we have these big ambitions to continue to make the big schools feel small. And one of those ways of doing that is through engagement and through that learner and family engagement. So we have some bold objectives that we're trying to chase after, and we, instead of turning and looking at another person on the team and saying, can you run with this, who are already doing so many great things, we're looking for someone, and they're in the interview process. Now, these are job descriptions to define those, and so those are up for review tonight. We do have a new position at the high school. That's a campus safety officer. You'll see John Cook, right? John Cook, I think is his name. You'll see him at the front desk greeting you. We have so many activities that are happening in our school. We wanted to have extended safety care for our students and also our buildings after hours, and so now we have someone who is on watch on the building and making sure that it's a safe place for all, with all the activities that we have after school. Item E is a revised pay scale for our summer bus cleaning. That is just exactly what it says here. We are looking to revise the scale to be more in market and competitive so that we can attract people to help us with some of the summer work. So if you're out there wondering, I'm looking for a summer job, you like cleaning, and maybe you like buses, we would love for you to join us. We are looking for people for that role, but that's on here tonight. Book disposal list, you can click into there and you can see the different books that are being disposed. That's part of an ongoing process for updating our libraries and other materials throughout the district. St. Susanna uses us as a place to then do some disposal. They have some Chromebook disposal that's on here on item G. And then item H, Hamilton County ESC, the summer evaluations. And then again, and the item I, these are just evaluations that are happening throughout the summer for students that might have special needs evaluations or reevaluations that are taking place throughout the summer months. And that's a contract for us to do that. Bright Star Care Agreement is actually just a private nursing company to help in addition with special needs and some medical care there. Item K is the dishwasher purchase at Early Childhood Center. We have thousands of students eating every single day, and we wash thousands of different dishes, and so our dishwasher needs replaced now. And so that's important for them over there, so we're getting a head start and getting that done. And then the resurfacing of Mason High School track. So we're not redoing the entire track, we're putting a new surface on the top of that that should be good for the next, I think, 5 years is what we talked about in the Facilities Committee. So you'll see that go on. And one of the reasons our track does get a lot of use. So remember, we have one track that is used by our middle school and our high school, and so it is well used. And then we have it open to our community for our community use all the time as well. So we're going to get that resurfaced soon. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. Any other discussion? All right. Sean, please call roll.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Ms. Yingling?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 10, Treasurer's Report. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second?
Any discussion?
A couple items to note on here. Item F, our 5-year forecast and assumptions. So, as our board is well aware, but for the community members out there, we do approve a 5-year financial forecast and projection twice a year, once in October and November and once in May. And we report this to the state as part of our compliance and part of our planning. That's something, it's a document we approve and submit a couple times a year, but in addition to that, we use it all throughout the year just as a good planning tool and make sure that we're in line with our goals and meeting our targets. And again, happy to report that we are now basically 3 years into our commitment from the 2020 levy to make it last at least 5 years, and we remain on track to fulfill that commitment to our community. So good news with that. Item G is a new fund that we're setting up for some dollars that we're getting from Great Oaks. It's about $24,000. I'll thank Christine and also Joe Schroeder here at the high school. They work together to receive these funds from Great Oaks to help with some career exploration and things, and this fund is being set up to track those dollars.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. Any other discussion?
I'd like to thank Sean. You give us a nice memo every meeting to just kind of zero in on a topic, and think this month's comparison on what state funds we get versus what we get from the community was just sort of eye-opening. And so just want to take the opportunity to thank you for putting that together for us, and then thank the community for their commitment to our schools, because if you don't know, revenue from the state has either been flat or declining. So we're able to do these things, have these great artists and all the things that we're able to do as a district because we have that community support. So thanks.
Well said.
Thank you, Ian. Any other discussion? All right, Sean, please call the roll.
Ms. Ewing?
Yes.
Mr. Wise?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Ms. Apache?
Yes.
5-0.
All right, item number 11, committee reports. First committee looks like Arts and Activities Council.
Arts and Activities met on May 2nd and approved a variety of items. The marching band show for 2023 was approved for us. Out-of-state trips for several groups, including Science Olympiad, Mason High School Choir, Mason High School Dance Team. We also approved the plays for 23-24 for the high school and the middle school drama clubs. We approved some additional duties for a couple different groups, but in addition to that, some new club proposals. We're always looking for ways to help our students find new activities to be involved in. So we approved Women in Business and Sound Engineering and Music Production Club. So that's our latest, and then we're meeting again. There were so many items, we ran out of time, so we're meeting again on Thursday to approve a few more items.
Thanks, Tanya. Diversity Council.
We had our final meeting of the year on May 4th and went over some of the data from our CARI data that was specifically really important for us as a DEI diversity council to kind of look at and think through our lens on. We also planned for what was our final event of the year and was such a success on I guess it was just last night, actually. It was our Windows and Mirrors celebration, and just a humongous thank you to the Mason Schools Foundation for helping fund that all year. There has been such a recipe of success of having the community come together for these kind of windows and mirrors. We had student performances all night, a lot of hands-on stations. So using the talents within our own community and getting a chance to just celebrate. A couple of them that were especially terrific were, one was a Vietnamese summer roll making station that you could learn how to make summer rolls and also sample from our very own incredible, she works in the Deputy Superintendent's office, Teresa Bird, who has been in Mason for many years, Vietnamese American, has a really incredible story of her own. And so I was thrilled to have her there. We had our Chinese National Honor Society. We had our Japan club, so our student clubs and groups were involved. And you all approved tonight, you again approved our IE team members and all of those leaders, but really Soraya Smith has done just a tremendous job of helping to kind of put the pieces in place that has become our recipe for success. And to see the room filled up with people enjoying food and entertainment and celebrating was just a joy. So many thanks to all who attended, and thanks to our DEI council members, several of them, Tanya being one, as well as other members who were there serving food all night long. And a special thank you to my Colorful Kitchen right downtown Mason, Indian food that was amazing. Their biryani was absolutely off the hook. And then Twin Dragon, also a Mason family who just really went above and beyond. We were hoping to not just be taking from culture, but we wanted to help support some local businesses as well. And that's what our funding from the Mason Schools Foundation has allowed us to do.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. Facilities Committee.
During our Facilities Committee, we discussed updates around the district. I don't know if anybody wants to speak to that was there. I don't want to jump right in. Okay, we talked about track, replacing the track, so that was something we brought up earlier on the agenda. We also, I jumped into the meeting late, so I'm not sure, Sean, if there's any other significant things that jumped in today.
An update on the schedules, some of the details on some of the projects we have going on.
Yep.
And a few other longer-term projects, I think, that were introduced. So overall, good news, and main item was the track that was on the agenda here.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Finance Committee.
Sure, Finance Committee met earlier this month, and the 5-year forecast was our main topic in that meeting. Just for those out there in the community, there is a several-step process to approving that 5-year forecast. It's not something we just show up here tonight and approve. That starts with Finance Committee with a deep review of that forecast, and then we go from there to board work session where the board reviews it, and then we come here to the regular meeting to approve it. So there's several steps in that process, and this Finance Committee is what started that for us this spring.
Thank you, Sean. Mason Schools Foundation.
Our most exciting part of our agenda was getting to approve the above and beyond teachers for the year. And so it's been really fun to go and recognize some of those folks. And so I won't tell you all of them right now because some of them are yet to be recognized in front of their peers. But stay tuned. They're coming and really just an opportunity to really community source that. We had over 150 nominations from our community come forward and recognize just incredible teachers who go above and beyond. Those reading the nominations, our foundation board members give every single teacher that was nominated a copy of that form back to the teacher along with their principal so that they can see, even if they weren't the chosen one, the impact that they've had. And so we really appreciate that. Also, we do have a class of 2023 fundraiser going on. So all of the grads for our who will soon be alumni on Monday, they will no longer be class of 2023 seniors. They will be alumni, and we are hoping, that group is hoping to be the first class to get enough money raised. They want to raise $5,000 to then be put on our monument that I forget what we're calling
Mason
it.
Schools Foundation.
The Mason Schools
yeah,
Foundation
yeah.
monument that is out by the middle school. And so the donor wall is what it's called. Thank you. And so we're hoping if you felt called, you could give a little bit of money in their honor, but they're just looking for 2023 per grad would be really cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy.
$20.22. Yeah.
Where's the decimal?
I mean,
The decimals.
Yeah.
The recent graduates,
Right.
it's inflation. And,
That's great.
All right, our Student Achievement Committee.
Yeah, we met on May 11th, and most of our meeting time was devoted to hearing from our teacher leaders about the proposals that we had our first reading on tonight for our social studies instructional resource review. And this was really sort of that last step for the committee that they in a process that they've been involved in throughout the year. So going back to the beginning of the year and giving feedback on the compass that Jonathan spoke about. The next step was really doing a review of all of the resources that were out there, narrowing them down to do a deeper dive with some vendor presentations, and committee members had the opportunity and we're grateful. Some of them stepped up to sit in and listen and give feedback from their perspective on those presentations. And then finally, many thanks to our teacher leaders who then piloted the selected products, were able to learn a little bit more about them and come and give a really detailed and authentic view of what they believe that they'll bring to students, and began to also think about what the next steps would be in terms of professional learning needs. So grateful for them sharing. I just want to give a shout out to our teacher leaders who really play an instrumental role in this process, and then also Chrissy Huffnagel and Shauna Buemiller, our learning experience supervisors who make sure that it's grounded in the relevant research, that they're really bringing all of the resources to bear. And our teachers, so it's not just those teacher leaders, but they're doing a great job of bringing it back to our teachers. And then at the end of the meeting, we had a little preview of what could potentially become some new course proposals for next fall. So this is an early step there from our high school social studies department and science department. And it was a chance, while they were still kind of early in development and the idea stage, to get those ideas in front of committee members and get some feedback that might help them as they refine them. Those official proposals would come back to the committee in November of next school year.
Awesome. Thank you, Andy.
She's definitely underselling that group. They're even considering constructing their own curriculum with because they found that there's a void of what we would consider acceptable for Mason quality, and so we have the resources and staff to be able to potentially build our own. So that group is
Which department? Is it social studies?
So elementary social studies, it's often more integrated into ELA and so on. And so as they looked at the elementary resources, it just wasn't, there wasn't anything that really made sense for them to invest in at the level that they would be asking for. And instead, our teachers are using some of what's out there to create our own in-house resources aligned to our compass that are able to be integrated into our ELA units that are a good match for what we do already.
Thank you, Amy. All right. Item number 12, legislative update. Jonathan?
You know, there's a couple things that we're watching. One is, as we all have talked about in here, House Bill 33, which is the budget bill that's going through hearings right now in the Senate. We expect June 6th or 7th to see what the Senate's response to that is, and so we're kind of holding right now to listen and hear what might go through that. So that's something that I'll hopefully have updates for you in June, and we'll stay closely connected with our local legislators as well and our state legislators on that work. The other piece that we're watching closely, there are some education bills that are out there. One that's specifically targeting social studies standards that I've been in contact with our state legislators about, just to understand what they're trying to do, what the hope there is. That's right now just in committee, being just people hearing and asking questions about the bill, so it's not something that's moving forward at this time, but it's definitely something we're watching because it does have impacts when they start to talk about changing different standards for us. We want to be involved in that process. So, and it's an interesting time because there's not a state superintendent and there's a change potentially with that whole structure. So we will stay closely connected with our legislators, and so I'll keep you posted on what goes on with that. I think those are the major things that we're watching right now. There's obviously other little things that are in the background, but those are the pieces that we'll stay closely connected with and keep giving you updates on.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan. All right. Item number 13, administrator commentary.
I just wanted to just acknowledge and thank all of those Big Rock winners. It is just a joy to watch the kind of educators and staff members who they are humble, and you see it in the way that they responded each time. They literally are always like shocked that they were recognized, but they're just being in their classrooms, seeing them. These are the creative, curious, fun places, and so that is amazing. And then just a special acknowledgement to Cindy Donnelly. I will just say, as a mom of a student who was profoundly shaped by being in the bank, my 2014 grad had an incredible experience doing the finance side, and even in his work today, and while he's an engineer and really toyed with should he go into business or engineering, he uses the foundations of that, and you will still see him in Manhattan or Colorado, wherever he's living. He wears his CSNL shirt still. That, I mean, it's pretty great. He still is the same size, but I mean, he wears that shirt on all kinds of pictures, and I'll see him hiking in Central Park, and he's got his Comet Savings and Loan sweatshirt on, and that's the kind of impact that she has over long periods of time. So grateful we could give her the Spirit of the Comet.
Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah, I would just echo Tracy's comments. I think about Jill Arminio's comment. You heard her in the back and said, I don't feel worthy. And it's like, well, of course you are. And I think it also is just a great indicator. You look at those educators and they say, but so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so is equally worthy. And they are. We are so blessed to work with such amazing, committed people across our organization. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't also take time to celebrate some individuals along the way as well. And sort of in that spirit, I just wanted to say, reflect on the year. I wanted to give a shout out to Tracy and Amanda Oltman for our wayfinding moments for this year. It was just an idea. And it's been really, I think, just a special opportunity to pause and to share stories. There's so much more than just videos. It really is such a great opportunity to share stories that people just might not be aware of when there's so much going on. that really do capture the spirit of our rock. So, so glad that you invested in that this year. Thanks, Tracy.
Definitely. Thank you, Amy.
Just wanted to give a very brief shout out to all of our staff and all of the departments. So all of our classified staff, especially our transportation department, our student nutrition department, our educational aides, and our teachers, just for a great school year. It's hard to believe that we are wrapping it up. I will not say that I'm not excited, but just very thankful for all of the effort that everybody's put forth this year.
Thanks, Tanya.
I want to recognize the efforts everyone put in for the Windows and Mirrors event. It was incredible. Soroya, wanted to elevate her. She does an incredible job. She brings such passion to the work and such joy, and it shows in the event, as well as the DEI Council, the Mason Schools Foundation, the students that were willing to participate, those that served food, so Team A right here, Robin Jordan, and many others. So, in addition, I wanted to recognize Drew Boyd. So, one of his foundational tenets is that creativity can be taught. And so the SIT method does that. So you aren't just born with creativity. You can have the tools and the processes to do creative thinking. So that's what, when the kids are saying their lives are changed forever, I mean, to me, that's at the core. So he's an incredible partner. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. If we start to think about leadership development or something where we want some creativity, our first thought is Drew. So you think he'd be willing? An email or a call? Sure. You know, let's set up a time to meet. So that's an incredible community partner. So the Rock is well deserved, and we are absolutely thrilled to continue to partner with him. We're very lucky.
Thanks, Christine.
I just want to congratulate all of our award winners tonight, both the staff and the students. A lot of people, a lot of great recognitions tonight, so congratulations to them. Also just wanted to thank all of our staff across the district, as Tanya mentioned, all the people that work with kids every day. Really appreciate their efforts supporting our learners and our families, so thanks to them. Hope they have a great, restful, well-deserved summer for those who can. And then lastly, one of the items that we did approve tonight was the retirement of Kathy Moat. She's does payroll in our office and has for the last 17 years. A lot of faithful service in there, so she's retiring at the end of June, and so congratulations to her. Best wishes as she enters her next season, and she'll be missed.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, echo all the congratulations to our award winners, and the end of the year, all of our staff members for just finishing strong and creating Mason moments throughout the last week. If you go around and just look at the pictures that are out there with all the fun things that kids are involved in, it's some great traditions here. Also want to thank our team here, our executive team. I mean, this week alone, we're probably going to hit somewhere in the 70-hour range. I don't want to say that out loud, but it is a reality. We're here every night doing great work to get the best people onto our team. So I want to thank you for spending the whole week with dinners with me and and your investment. And also just, again, echoing Drew as a community partner to come in and just, invest in us and have the willingness to reach out to us. Last but not least, but I know you all talked a little bit about this, but our spring sports, just wishing them the best. I know we closed down one season tonight. Which is a hard one because I've got a kiddo on that one, but I know they'll be back, and they've had an undefeated season, so it's a great season. But there's so many more celebrations that are to come with our sports seasons that are still continuing on. So come out and cheer on the Comets as you have opportunities.
Thank you, Jonathan. All right, item number 14, board commentary. Ian?
I guess I'll pick up where Jonathan left off. Well, actually, no. I'll thank you because while I think my calendar can be full at times, wherever I go, I see you. And I know that that means a lot to the community, to the students who see you give of your time. You're a dad, you're a husband, and so to really just show up for others and serve people in that way with your time, which is the one thing we don't know how much of it we have, is just a testament to who you are as a human being. So thank you to the executive leadership team who showed up. I mean, the Mirrors and Windows event last night was amazing. I think I was talking to Vivian, and I said, you know, for our students to have these opportunities to see themselves celebrated is something you can't ever put a price tag on. You really just can't. So thank you to Mason Schools Foundation. Thank you to the PTOs. Thank you to the building IE teams who make sure that these kids are seen and celebrated for who they are. I mean, again, I was talking to a parent who's actually a teacher in Princeton, and they're like, we don't have anything that comes close to this. So I think that's very powerful as a student to have that experience. I know I never had anything like that when I was in school. And so it just makes me really grateful to be in this seat, in this community, to have, just any role in furthering this culture in this community that really tries to care for people and see people. Congratulations. We got a big event coming up on Sunday. Really excited to wish the class of 2023 well, see them off. And, Jonathan always says, once a comment, always a comment. So please come back. We wish you the very, very best in your future endeavors. And to all of the students that we'll see in a few months, have a happy and safe summer.
Thank you, Ian. Kevin?
Well, I'll just, all the people that have put together the graduation ceremony, we're back kind of on our home court, and looking forward to that reunion. But thank you. I know a lot of people, it takes a lot of people to prepare that. We've had a little extra time to practice, I think, this year. Not extra time to practice, but since practice. So hopefully they remember what we practiced. But looking forward to that. Congratulations to all the winners tonight. It's really cool when you see people win these awards when teaching is just a small slice of what their impact on this community is. The whole Meekum family was here. Their whole life is about building into kids. And for Missy to step into the fray of that as a profession as well as a passion is really cool to see. So, and it was just nice to be able to recognize everybody tonight. So,
thank you, Kevin. Connie?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe we're finishing out another school year. It seems like we just started it yesterday, but it has been a good one, and a great team of our staff working together every day really makes our job easy, and we really do appreciate it. One thing that I'll say, we've had a lot of award winners and a lot of teachers that have really made a difference in kids' lives, families' lives. But the one thing that I note is we are fortunate enough to have teachers to draw staff here that they're just not good at what they do, but they're good at what they do because they love it. You can see the heartfelt motivation that people give their lives to spend with our kids. And so I feel blessed and fortunate to be here. And yeah, we're looking forward to graduation this weekend, and then, as you said, Ian, a safe and happy summer. Come back in the fall and do it all over again.
Thanks, Connie. Desiree?
I kind of want to echo what Ian said about Jonathan's schedule. Everywhere I am, you are, in a lot more places than I am. And I don't know how you do it unless you have a clone out there somewhere that you're at two places at once. I think it's possible. I'm serious. But, for Michelle and your kids and you balancing family and giving yourself to the school, we're very blessed to have you. Very blessed to have you. And just the presentations tonight, what a joy to watch. The awards, the wayfinding videos are wonderful, Tracy. I've enjoyed those very much this year. And it didn't talk about a window and a mirror. You see so much deeper, you peel the onion back and you see a lot more of what's going on behind the doors every day. So yeah, it was a great meeting. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's hard to believe we're almost wrapping up May here and graduation's this weekend. So as my daughter said, in a week she will be a senior. So
exciting.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Desiree. something Christine said earlier kind of struck a chord with me about the appreciation we have for folks like Drew Boyd coming in and sharing their talents with our community. You know, we just have so much. You know, I think of the game show, and it's blanking right now, but you've got like 1 against 100, and everybody's holding a case, you know, with some undisclosed amount of money inside, and you pick one at the beginning, and then you wind all the way down till, you know, you're deciding to make a deal or not. I don't know if it's deal or no deal. I don't know what it's called, but there's so many times where we're in this community, and the 5 of us sit up here, and we have a great executive, you know, leadership team to guide us and steer us and stuff, but so often we're reminded that, you know, while we have this privilege and honor of sitting up here, the field out there in our community is just so vast and so deep in terms of their knowledge and their experience and their willingness to share with us, that it's such a gift to have that reminder every once in a while. And you know, to comment on the concept of learned creativity, and I think that could go for any number of skills or so to speak innate qualities or characteristics that we sometimes assume are, you know, we're born with or something like that. So much of that perception comes from what our surroundings are, and if, you know, somebody was born and happened to be growing up in a different, you know, perhaps smaller community, the gifts that they had would shine through a little more than perhaps here, where there is just so much talent and so much, you know, just blows my mind every time we have a meeting of the gifts and the achievements that we're recognizing. And so it is great to see a reminder like that, and I hope encouraging to our students and to our teachers that while we have seen the highest of heights achieved in our community by our students, by our teachers, by our leadership team, you know, that's just a snapshot of the greatness here. And as we heard from Jill Arminio, we have so many people that are so deserving, and it just so happens that, you know, maybe this year is your turn or your time, or you know, it goes for the students as well, that, you know, whether you are advancing in the state playoffs or whether you are, you know, just coming up short this season, maybe you got picked for the play, maybe you didn't, or whatever. It's not a comment or a function of, you know, you're good at this, you're not good at this. The only time where that ceases to be, you know, an avenue or a pathway for you is when you decide to give up on it. Mm-hmm. And you know, we have some moments that we've been working on highlighting and elevating as they are transitions from grade to grade and from building to building. We have a big moment, transition moment coming up this weekend in terms of graduation. And I think a lot of times, a lot of people view that as sort of an end to a lot of things that they've enjoyed here. And we've been so fortunate to be able to offer so many opportunities and so many activities and things like that. And I hope that to the extent you really have a passion for some of those things that you may view as an end, that you don't, and you find a way at your next, whatever your next destination is, to maintain the interest and the passion that hopefully we've helped you cultivate here in Mason. And, you know, it's an eye-opener sometimes when you leave, you know, the largest high school in the state of Ohio, and you move on to a college community that perhaps is smaller than what you're used to here, and you find that, you know, maybe the environment that you had taken for granted or that you assumed was kind of the case everywhere, it's a little smaller, or it's a little bit less structured. And while you're wondering, you know, it's like you're in a tent that is just sort of, you know, not assembled yet, and you're wondering, how am I going to make this thing somewhere that I can sort of flourish and grow, that's an opportunity, not just a challenge, but to, you know, kind of stretch your leadership skills and to grow into a way that maybe, you know, here wasn't always available, but hopefully we've equipped you to do that, and we hope that you'll carry that forward. And we love hearing stories of our graduates, you know, going on to places and doing remarkable things. You know, sometimes the seed was planted here, and then it sprouts when they're out in the real world. And, you know, we've got testimonials and evidence of that around with some, you know, great startup companies of fantastic, performing artists and professional athletes, but that's just a small sliver that is highly visible and barely gets, below the surface of all the gifts that, people in our district have. So I am very appreciative of everybody that came tonight, and thank you again, Jonathan, and the whole team for elevating those folks to bring them to our attention, and it's always a privilege and a joy to recognize them. So with that, I will move for our last item, a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.